Hello. So I wanted to make an upload mainly talking about my personal journey so far in the Qliphoth. So for the past 17 months, aside from my usual spiritual work, I have been initiating through the Qliphoth. If you are unfamiliar with what that is, there is loads of information out there. Now, I'm not going to get into the history of it and how it actually predates Hebrew mysticism and Kabbalism, but I will, I'll put it simply and as best I can. It's called the Tree of Death, the Dark Tree, the Tree of Knowledge, the counterpart to the Sephiroth or the Tree of Life. It is the dark feminine itself, the dissolving primordial chaos of anti-self, unmaking oneself to become aligned with your true will, your most authentic and highest evolution, your God self. As a draconian practitioner primarily, and initiate, my process of approaching the Qliphoth is just that. As of this upload, I'm working through Gha'agsheblah. This is the Qlipha of blackness and of becoming nothing. Now, I wanted to touch on my uploads these past few months. I don't upload consistently, but they've really slowed lately because I'm in the midst of a very strong tower moment that has been building up since the beginning of this year. And if I'm being honest, it's a tower moment unlike any other that I've faced. I've been through a lot in my life. A lot, guys. I've not had, I didn't grow up with a silver spoon, put it that way. Traumatic childhood, check. Abuse, check. Violence, check. Gangs, check. Drugs, check. Name it. I've seen it and likely put it up my nose at some point in the very distant past, okay? So, when you work an initiation like the Qliphoth, and I'm not sure there are many quite like it, you will experience many trials. These can take many forms, and they are very personal to the life of the practitioner. Whatever your subconscious mind, whatever's in your subconscious mind that needs to surface will surface. Whatever you're clenching onto with fear, whatever you're attaching a false identity to, these things will be swept away one way or another. Now, this isn't even touching on the internal process of transformation that takes place. Working through the Qliphoth is one of the most intense and dissolving spiritual processes that an individual can undergo, if not the most intense. Excuse me. This isn't just my conclusion, but this is the conclusion of the many that came before me. Areas of the Qliphoth and the tunnels of Set, those being the tunnels that connect each Qlipha that you are aligned with to a higher degree. You may have a much easier time moving through those parts because your subconscious mind is already in flow with that particular energy and pattern of existence. Now, this is double-sided. For example, if you have sexual trauma, you may find Gamaliel exposes that trauma, forces you to face it. However, at the same time, you may resonate deeply with Gamaliel's dark sexual alchemy and energy and find it empowering, liberating, and pleasant, and possibly many other things. Nothing in the Qliphoth comes without a counterpart, I have found. Thus, mirroring the nature of Thaumael, the Qlipha at the top of the dark tree known as the Twins of God, ruled by Lucifer. Everything can feel that it has a heavier than normal cost because, in fact, it does. I've found that the areas I resonate most with, I'm able to integrate much faster afterward. A month can be sufficient between such workings. However, areas of lower integration or deeper associated trauma can take many months to integrate. So, timelines are going to vary depending on the individual. But what is widely agreed is that Qliphothic initiation is not quick, and it is a lifetime and beyond process that you enter into. This isn't a one and done. That means once I reach and move through Thamael, I'm not finished. No, this is just the beginning. Now, I've heard it likened to getting a black belt in martial arts. Once you have a black belt in martial arts, your journey is really just starting. Any black belt will tell you that, especially in jiu-jitsu, something that I practice. Uh, you now understand the process. You get the moves, you know what it takes, but you still have to maintain yourself. Practice, maintain your skills, learn. Always be a student, always. You will continue to return to the Qliphoth, and as I understand it, each subsequent return is vastly different. The more you work with it, the more you can harness its dark power directly and deliberately from a specific tunnel or a Qliphoth. Then there are the realms beyond the Qliphoth, which is beyond my current scope and topic of this video. There is no reversing Qliphothic energy from my own experience and understanding. It is one of those processes that, once open, can't be closed. I have noticed a particular resonance and presence. You can call this a vibe if you want, with individuals that are or have been deeply connected to and practice Qliphothic work and magic. Everything contains an essence or a spirit. And when you align yourself with that energy, whatever it is, you will carry it. Now, I've encountered many beings and even extraterrestrials within the tunnels of Set. In the tunnel of Parfaxitas in particular, I found a gateway to Sirius. Now, what it means and how to use it goes back to being able to return to that tunnel and delve further. In Qliphoth, I found a connection between Hecate and the old ones from the Necronomicon. Again, this would require more depth and having it verified by multiple sources, so it's not just unverified personal gnosis, right? The list goes on. I'm finding the tunnels of Set often far more expansive and wild than the Qliphas themselves. The Qliphas seem to be focal points, realms of immense power and density that when moved through act as death and birthing places, dying upon moving through them and birthing anew some or many parts of you upon their distillation and integration of energy. The tunnels themselves are sometimes literal tunnels that when projected into appear as organic corridors or places that extend in a linear fashion. But more often than not, I have found that the tunnels are realms all unto themselves, places that defy any logic or mundane concepts of morality and understanding. I mean, really, this applies to the Qliphoth as a whole, but the tunnels tap into a very unique part of the subconscious and reality itself. They're often very liminal, dead but alive, quiet yet very active. As for when this initiation should be done, again, I believe this is entirely personal. However, I do believe having some competency and experience in projecting one's consciousness, spirit communication, and ritual work is necessary. This is a path that will either call to you or it won't. Thank you for listening, and I want to thank you all sincerely for your kind and productive comments, and more to come. Blessings.